If you're still creating health tech content for doctors, why? Doctors aren't buying your product. It's nurses, administrators, and caregivers. Let me show you 5 content marketing mistakes that are costing you qualified leads and how to fix them before your competitors figure it out. By the way, number 5 is a real doozy. I've been doing this long enough to see the same pattern over and over. Brilliant products that nobody's buying because the marketing speaks to the wrong people. In this video, we're going to talk about the difference between content that converts and content that gets ignored. Stick around to the end because I've got a free resource for you that'll help you audit your own content and fix these issues fast. Let's go. All right, let's get started with mistake number 1. You're obsessing over clinical outcomes when your buyer is worried about operational nightmares. Your content is all about improved patient outcomes and evidence-based protocols. But the nurse manager reading your website is thinking, that's great, but how many clicks does it take? Is it going to add 30 minutes to my nurse's shifts? And who's training my staff? Clinical outcomes matter, but they're not the only thing that matters. Your actual buyers care about workflow integration, staff adoption rates, and whether the solution is going to cause a revolt in the break room. So for every clinical benefit you mention, pair it with an operational benefit. Instead of saying something like, reduces readmissions by 23%, give them the benefit with something like, reduces readmissions by 23% with a 2-minute workflow that nurses can complete during normal rounds. Now you're speaking their language. Stop acting like there's just one decision maker, because you know good and well that's not true. Your content targets the end user like they're making this decision in a vacuum. But in reality, that nurse practitioner has to convince her manager, who has to pitch IT, who has to get budget approval from finance, who has to get sign-off from compliance. That's 5 different stakeholders with 5 different priorities. And guess what each one of them cares about? The nurse practitioner wants ease of use. The manager wants staff satisfaction scores. IT wants security certifications, finance wants ROI projections, and compliance wants regulatory checkboxes. If your content only addresses 1 or 2 of these concerns, it will die with the buying committee. Instead, create content for the whole approval chain, not just the end user. And that means different content assets for different stakeholders. So for instance, you'll need a 1-pager for the nurse practitioner, an ROI calculator for finance, and a security brief for IT. Make it ridiculously easy for the internal champion to build the internal business case for you. You want to give them all the resources that they need to sell your solution to their bosses. Mistake number 3. Your content sounds like it was written by a medical device engineer for other medical device engineers. You're using terms like interoperability frameworks and HL7 FHIR integration, when the administrator reading your case study just wants to know if it works with their current EHR. There's too much jargon. I get that some of your buyers are technical, but many of them aren't. Case in point, the director of patient experience doesn't need to understand your API architecture. She just needs to know if caregivers will use it and if it'll reduce complaint calls. When you drown your content in technical jargon, you're basically putting up a sign that says, "This isn't for you." Start by writing at a 6th or 7th grade level first with plain language, and then you can add appendices that have the technical jargon if somebody wants it. Your content should lead with outcomes and experience, not technical architecture. Your main content should answer the question, would my mom understand this? Save the deep dives for supplementary resources that technical teams can read if they want to. Okay, y'all, this is a big one. I know I said number 5 is a doozy, but this is a big one too. Mistake number 4 is when all your case studies and testimonials show a perfect implementation with no struggles and no problems. Come on now, your buyers know better. They've been burned before. When they read your case study about a health system that achieved 98% adoption in 30 days, because they know that their situation and very similar situations are much messier than that. We all know that real healthcare is chaotic. We've got resistant staff members, legacy systems that don't play nice with others, budget cuts during implementation, and competing priorities. Always competing priorities. Your buyers are living this reality every single day. So when your content pretends or omits the fact that these obstacles exist, you lose credibility instantly. So what you should do instead is show the messy middle, include case studies that really explain here's what went wrong and here's how we fixed it. Talk about that resistant charge nurse who wasn't on board at first, who became your biggest champion after week 3, and how you did it. Acknowledge that adoption took 90 days, not 30, explaining why that is normal and okay. If you want to build trust no matter what you're selling, you have to show that you understand your buyer's reality. The real with all of its complications. And that's when they'll think, okay, these people get it. As someone who spent many years caregiving in hospitals, nursing homes, and in my own home, this one really hits home. Number 5, you're completely ignoring the patient-caregiver feedback loop. If you're marketing to nurses and caregivers, that's nice, but remember, they're the ones listening to and interacting with patients every single day. So if their patients hate your solution, nurses will either find workarounds or just drop it entirely. But if your patients love it, your nurses and caregivers will basically become free salespeople for you. This happens all the time with patient engagement tools and remote monitoring devices. The marketing is all focused on B2B and clinical staff, not the patients. Why not address the patient experience? Then startups and company executives are so shocked when adoption rates fall or stall because patients are finding the interface confusing or the alerts annoying. Your healthcare buyers know that patient satisfaction scores affect their reviews, their budgets, and their stress levels. So if you can't show that patients will actually use and like your solution, then you're missing a massive piece of the puzzle. Create patient-facing content and show it to your healthcare buyers. Include patient testimonials in your B2B marketing. Share data on patient satisfaction scores. Show the app interface from the patient's perspective and demonstrate that you've thought about the caregiver-patient relationship, not just the hospital-vendor relationship. You will get real buy-in when nurses and caregivers see that your patients embrace the solution instead of fighting it. If your health tech content isn't connecting, it's probably because you're trying to solve the wrong problem for the wrong person in the wrong language. But now you know what to fix. I'm Doree, and I help health tech startups and companies so they can actually connect with real healthcare buyers. If you want to go even deeper on this, I've got something for you. It's called The 5 Biggest Patient Education Mistakes and How to Fix Them This Quarter. And it's a free 5-day crash course specifically for health tech executives whose products serve patients or caregivers. My promise is that by day 5, you'll know exactly how to fix your patient-facing content and get better adoption. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching this video. Watch one of these 2 next.